Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ready Set Pop. My name is Mariel greeting you from the capital of Mexico City. Well, no, from the capital of Mexico. It's Mexico City. I'm sorry. I'm taking some medicines today. I'm not feeling so good. And all the way from the capital of Colombia is my friend Mauricio Sierra from Bogota. And not from the capital from Brazil, but from one of the most important cities in Latin America. Here we have from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Sorocaba, Luquita
Yes.
Zapata.
Yes, girl.
Hello, boys.
Hello,
Hello,
friends. How are
Mariel.
you?
We
We're
are
good. We're good.
great. Mariel is a little bit drunk today, people, so
No,
don't worry.
I'm not drunk.
Just
I'm just
kidding.
no. I took some medicines today. I'm not feeling so good, so that's why I'm a little dizzy, but I'm okay. I didn't want to miss today's episode. So, um, today, which is track 4 from CD4, it's all about songs you should know from the 90s and 2000s. And this
Yes.
topic was chosen by my friend Lucky Lulu. And so tell us, darling, what are we going to talk about today? What can our audience expect?
Yeah, this topic was the way I found to make sure you guys listen to the songs I want.
Ah.
And yeah, and also because I think it's one of the reasons why we have this podcast and we have the group chat to exchange information and music because there's always more to discover. Mariel knows that more than anyone because she's been sharing songs with us since always. So it's a way for us to know more music, our friends and the audience to discover more with the in the favorite time of music for us, that is the 90s and the 2000s. So that's it. That was my idea, and I hope we can always come back to this topic and eventually to exchange more and share more songs. And besides that, we have our sessions at the end where we're gonna talk about our current obsessions and the collection. So it's all about sharing today between us and with everyone uh, that feels welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Lucas. Yes, it's gonna be fun to talk about songs that we did some research here between the three of us to see. We checked on our last FMs to see if we have listened to certain songs, so we can actually recommend it.
Yeah.
So that's how it's gonna work. Each of us is gonna talk about 3 songs, and the first one should be Lucky Lulu since he is the one that chose this topic.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start with Mia Agutter. I googled her name to talk correctly. I discovered this girl in 2005. She's from Swiss. It's not Sweden. It's Switzerland.
Switzerland. Uh-huh.
Yes, she's Swiss, and I discovered her with another song that is called Alive. That is probably my favorite by her, but I decided to share with you guys the song right here, right now, because it's one of her biggest hits there in her country. I think it was number 5 on the charts. And she was famous there because she was actually an actress. She was part of some telenovelas, soap operas there in Germany.
Mm.
So she was popular in both countries. And she started singing in 2003. And this song that I share with you guys is called Right Here, Right Now. It was part of a soundtrack of a movie she was on that was Ready Steady Charlie. I was
Mhm.
reading about this movie. It's like a comedy, like they were making fun of military, German military moment in the 70s or something like this. And it was the biggest movie in Switzerland since another movie that was big in the 70s. So it was a big deal at the moment, like the second most popular movie ever in the country.
Mm-hmm.
and she was part of it. So the song was also popular, and it's very pop rock, the type of music that I like. But I can feel some pop in some parts of the song, and her voice kind of reminds me Meredith Brooks from that song Beach, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I really like her. She didn't release a lot of music after this, uh, but I really like her. So I wanted to share with you guys. I want to know the opinions, starting with my friend Mal. Hey Mal.
Hey, friend, thank you. Well, for me, it was a surprise actually because I didn't know anything about her. So it
Mhm.
was like a new discovery for sure. Listening at the very first time was so obvious it was your selection because the type of music, because it's very pop rock. And now that you mentioned she reminds you of Meredith Brooks, I understand why, because Meredith is so similar to Alanis,
Yeah.
and I don't know why I perceive some Shakira's vibes from the time when Shakira was pop rock,
Yeah. Yeah.
during the Donde Están los Ladrones and Pies Descalzos
Hmm.
eras.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first impression. I was listening to this girl, and I was like, it's like Shakira singing, like Shakira singing, like the
Yeah.
voice very very similar. Not so much because Shakira, of course, has a very distinctive voice,
Hmm.
but at the beginning was like that, and then I decided to look at the cover of the album that is this song, and I noticed that she, or for me, I don't know if she looks like a little older. I don't know. I thought she was like a teenager in that moment,
Yeah.
but maybe she was not a teenager.
Yeah, she was almost 30 when she released that song.
Oh yes,
But I think it
Oh.
yes,
was
yes.
one of those cases where she was playing teenagers on television, probably.
Mm.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that was something that I didn't like so much because I didn't like the image in her in the
Mhm.
picture, like the attire and everything, like the outfit. Like, okay, you're not a teenager, maybe this is
Grow
not
up,
the
girl.
style for
Yes.
you. But anyway, not my favorite to be honest. But it's not a bad song, and I think it worked perfectly for the moment of the music at that time. And so I
Yeah.
understand the purpose behind the song.
Yeah. Thank you, friend. What about you, Mariel?
Well, it was definitely when I first heard it, I didn't pay much attention to who chose which song. So when I
Hmm.
first played it, it was like, yeah, this is Lucas. So um, I had no doubt about it. And then I checked, and yeah, it was you. So I thought it was like Adri says here, Mia reminded me a lot of Alanis Morissette. So yeah, I thought about Alanis, like Mouse said, Mary Brooks, and a little bit of Michelle Branch, which you like. So
Hmm.
it's this pop rock thing that you are very into. I
Yeah.
didn't know who she was. Yes, I know. Me, who knows like a lot of underground singers, but now this time I didn't know who she was, and I
Hmm.
liked it. Not my style because I'm not so rocky, but I found it like okay, like I can give a try to another song. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to this girl. I was obsessed with her in 2005.
Oh, dang, 20 years ago. Don't talk
Yeah.
about years. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
who's
hello
next?
Now,
to our friends Juan and Adrian.
Juan and Adrian. Hello, boys.
Welcome, boys.
Mhm.
hello, community. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't want to be unfair with the girl because it's like, for example, for us, like now we are in our 30s, the label is giving us the opportunity to release an album or something like that. Of course, we want to go in that direction, like
Of
Mariel
course.
wants to be like a bubblegum girl, or you like
Yeah.
a pop rock girl from the 2000s, or me like the R&B boy from the 2000s. So I'm right now that I think I want to be fair with her and don't judge her so much. So I understand too.
Yeah, but there's a chance she wasn't into her music because as an actress and playing a character all the time. Maybe it was something that came from the label. I really don't know because she released more music nowadays and sounds more indie. Um, so I don't know. Maybe it was something with the label, not the girl. But I love that.
Okay,
Doesn't matter the age for me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think age doesn't matter as long as you're talented.
Yeah.
that's true.
That's true. Okay, who's next?
Mal, go on.
Mousy Momu.
Okay, friends. Well, I decided to select this woman because it is like a famous woman and a famous band. And I was a little surprised when I discovered that the both of you didn't have any scribblings by her. I was like,
Ah.
they are very listeners, like a big
Mhm.
listeners of music, and I was like a little surprised, like, oh, it's rare because you have like a huge library, in
Yes.
Last FM. I decided to select Sade, this song that I'm crazy about, not no ordinary love. Sade's music for me, it's very healing because when I play Sade, it's like, oh, I'm in this moment of relax and maybe listening to my mind in a way. And I don't know. And actually, I think this woman in her voice has a power that nobody has of healing, as I said. So this is a special song for me. It's my favorite by her. I love almost all her work. I think she was very unique, and I think she is
Mm-hmm.
very unique because no one's compared to her. So I want to know your opinions and let me know what. Of course, I know you know her, but why you didn't have any scribblings by her? Maybe I know it's not your style, but I don't know. You have scribblings by people from that era, Janet, or I don't know. I know she's not so mainstream, so pop, but I know it's a big name in music. So, Mariel.
Okay. First of all, of course, I know who she is. My dad used to play a lot her Smooth Operator song, so it was really popular in my house. But I don't think he ever bought anything by her, so that's like one of the ones I knew better. And a funny thing happened yesterday. I was watching the Luis Miguel series, and I was watching a scene where he kisses Mariah Carey for the first time, and that song that you recommended was playing.
Okay,
So yeah, and today that I
I
listened to it,
remember. I remember that episode from the series. Yeah.
yeah, and today that I played it, I was like, oh, it's this song from the episode last night. So um it's really good. I like it. It's so smooth. I like her voice. Is it pronounced Sade or Say?
Sade. It's
Sade?
Sade.
Okay,
Yes.
Sade. It's a little difficult. Um, I think she's like that kind of lounge, jazzy, poppy thing, and I love her voice. She's really unique, like you mentioned. I'm gonna try other of her songs because I haven't really paid much attention to her. But since I listened to that song yesterday and today, I was like, I think I need to listen to more of her stuff. She reminded me a bit of Brazilian singer Bebel Gilberto, who also sings like lounge house music.
Mhm.
So it kind of gave me that vibe. And I really liked it. I think that from the ones you chose, Mimao, that was my favorite.
Actually, now that you mention, one of her influences was Astrid Gilberto.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Mariel. It's
Yes.
amazing. What do you
Yes.
think, friend?
I was listening to the song yesterday and I was thinking I gotta be fair and very careful with this one because, first of all, it's a name that I always knew about. I know Smooth Operator since I was a kid, but it was one of those things for me as a kid that sounded very adult,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason I block it forever, if if I still a kid. So never makes sense for me to come back to this and try. I was checking my last FM and I had one scrubble by her that is a
Mm-hmm.
song called by Your Side in 2021. If I'm not wrong, I was in a Uber, and it was on the radio playing, and I kind of like it. So I saved
Okay.
it to listen later, but it was just once. And I was listening and thinking, this is not my thing, but it's not bad. So I had the sense that if right now I'm back into that 2001 sound so hard, like I'm listening a lot to Camila Brink, Ashley Ballard, those girls. So I was thinking maybe if I was in a different moment in my life, that would sound great for me because I had the sense that it's good, just not fitting in the mood that I am right now. So I
Hmm.
want to come back to this uh, woman eventually. It's not bad, of course.
Oh, thank you, friends. Thank you, friends. Because yeah, I actually for the episode I was listening to this album Love Deluxe, and after the album finished, I felt different, and this is the kind of feeling that I feel when I listen to her music. So it's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm gonna check out her older
Yes. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Adrian says Sade is so unique. I like her voice, but there's something about her music that makes me uneasy. Laugh out loud. I don't know how to explain
Yes,
it.
it's not for everybody.
And Joaquin, hello Joaquin. He says, "I love By Your Side by Sade. Was part of the soundtrack Laços de
Oh,
Familia in Brazil."
that's why he was on the radio. So explain
Yeah.
that.
Ah. And Ruan says, "I need to listen to her music. I only know one song, and it's probably Smooth Operator because that song was
Was the
everywhere,
most famous song in that moment, yes.
and it's
Yes.
beautiful."
Or this one.
There's
In
a
the
Peruvian
November.
there's a Peruvian singer who is like the worst person ever. She's personified like a tiger. Her name is La Tigresa del Oriente, and she made a horrible thing with this song in Spanish. So with the same beat of the song, but the lyrics are completely different. But it's called Frazada de Tigre. It's
Okay.
calling talking about a blanket. So it's like,
Joaquin
what
knows.
the fuck is this? How can you do something like that to a precious song like Smooth Operator? So yeah, Tigres del Oriente, if you're
Actually,
watching this, yeah,
last last year, La Tigresa del Oriente covered "She's a Homeless"
yes,
uh, in Spanish, but to be fair, it was not so bad. Her voice is so funny, but at the same time, I was thinking that this time she took the real lyrics to make the cover in Spanish. So
oh
it was
no,
so funny because in Spanish was like, ella es una indigente, pero es igual que tú y yo. So it was so funny.
no, but this one, La Frazada del Tigre, is like the
No,
worst thing you have ever
yeah.
listened to. So anyway, okay, moving on.
Nothing great. So.
My turn. I just love this woman I'm gonna talk about. She's Belgian, Spanish born Belgian. Her name is Bel Perez. I know a lot of you know her because her first work, Hello World, was very known worldwide. And then they were like, oh, she was a one hit wonder. She was a one hit wonder when it comes to the world, but in Belgium and the Netherlands, she's like super famous. And she has released a lot of music in Spanish. She has released over 7 albums since 2000. Um, she's very talented, and she sings in Spanish in most of her albums because she's Spanish. And it's crazy because she sings in Spanish and sings it in Belgium and in Netherlands that don't speak Spanish. But still, the people go watch her. And the song I chose for today is from her 2003 live album, by La Perez. This song is called Fragilidad, or Fragile, and it's a cover by Sting. And I just love and adore this song. I think she made a wonderful cover, not like that Tigresa del Oriente. She adjusted very well the words from the original song by Sting, translate them into Spanish, and also sings a little bit in English during this song. I think it's very emotional. You guys should give it a try if you haven't, because when you listen to it, I actually always feel the goosebumps, and I've been listening to that song forever, but it stays here, and I think it's really good. It's really deep and underrated, and I want to know what you guys think, starting with Mousy Mumu.
Thank you, Mariel. Well, I was a little skeptical when I knew that it was a cover from Sting because I love the original version. So
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, that, oh, maybe it's not that good, but I was really surprised. Actually, I'm super surprised and gladly surprised because of your selection today, because I love the three of the songs that you selected, and for
Yay.
me was just different. And I really love when this kind of artist that started making pop music, because she was very pop when she released Hello World, and then suddenly she is experimenting with different kind of things, with Spanish music. So
Rumba.
it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing because she
Mm-hmm.
explored different sides of her and of her roots, because she's Spanish too. And this song has these guitars and the Spanish music. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And her voice for me is also very like I don't know how to say it. Like um, she can sing different kind of things and doing
Mm-hmm.
good. You know, very
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
versatile. Versatile. I don't know.
Versatile.
Very
Thank you for.
versatile.
Yes.
Yes, her voice is like that because she, for example, that song that is very famous is called Hello World, right?
Yes.
It's the same name of the album, yeah.
Hello
And
world.
her
Yes.
voice sounds like a little childish for me, but in this performance that is live, I perceive that her voice was more mature. And I understand, of course, the time is different, but I was like, oh, okay, she's very talented and she's very versatile.
It's funny that you mentioned that you would think that when she released Hello World she was very young, but she was 25, so she
Oh,
wasn't like a teenager. She was already uh, an adult. So, but she did change her voice during her first two albums that were completely pop to the stuff she began doing later, which was more Spanish music oriented, like rumba, like uh, the Gypsy Kings. She sings a lot of Gypsy Kings songs, so very Spanish. Anyway,
very
but
Spanish, yeah.
yes, so I'm glad that you liked it, Mo, because I know it is hard sometimes to beat a cover or to make it as good as the cover as the original song. So I'm glad you liked it. Now I want to know about Lucky Lulu.
Okay. Well, I think she's an artist that clearly evolved,
Mm-hmm.
and the highlights for me is the voice because the song was recorded live and her voice is like on point, like very
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I like the arrangement of the song with the Spanish guitars and everything. Uh, but the song itself doesn't work much for me
Mm-hmm.
because I rather the pop stuff that she did earlier. But at the same time, as an artist, I understand that that was like next level for her. That
Mm-hmm.
happens sometimes, like here in Brazil, for example, we have Luisa Posse. They
Mm-hmm.
started as a teenager, a very pop, and then when she was growing up, the music was changing, more bossa nova, more different, and it's clearly like uh, evolution, but doesn't work for me anymore. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not bad, but it's not for me. But I know that it's
Okay.
good. You know.
Yes. Yeah. You admit that it's good, but it's not your type, yeah, and I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. I
Okay.
understand that it's good, but it's not something that I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to Hello World for sure.
Oh, lovely album.
Yes.
Adrian says, Bel Perez has such a beautiful voice. I don't think I had ever heard of her. Adri, I'm going to recommend you a lot of songs by her because she's really talented and she has a huge catalog. And Joaquin says, Bel Perez was on tour here in Chile in 2000s. Good song, Mariel. Yes, she was here in Mexico too. She was having her success, but all of a sudden she decided to stay in Europe, and well, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Um, okay, Lucas, your next choice, darling.
Okay, my next song is a song called Backwards Again by Tamin Sursok. She's Australian and she's uh, known for her role in Pretty Little Liars. She was Jenna, the blind girl, later, but before she was on Australian television and singing. So this song is part of her album that was released. I don't remember if it's 2004, 2005, something like this. And it was a moment in time when we had Hilary Duff and things like that. So her album is very pop rock.
Mhm.
Uh, she was 21 when she released. When she played a teenager on Pretty Little Liars, she was even older, but she was there because she looks very young. Even now that she's in her 40s, if you check her Instagram, she can be a teenager on television. It's crazy. Um, so I really love that album. The singles were really good on the charts in Australia. She recorded Whatever Will Be, that was later recorded by Vanessa Hudgens in her
Mhm.
album. Um, and I just love that album. But I chose Backwards Again. That is a song that was not a single because sounds different for me because there's so many different elements in that song. It is pop rock, but you can feel a lot of elements in that song, just like we had in Mandy Moore's 2001 album. So the elements in that song kind of reminds me Saturate Me, One Side Love, you know. I think Backwards Again would fit amazingly in Mandy Moore's album, even in the way that she sings, very sweet with very delicate voice. um, so I just love that song, and I always find myself coming back to that album. And right now, especially, I'm coming back to that song very often. I'm always listening. So I'm curious to know your thoughts about it. I'm gonna start with Mariel on that one.
Okay, I know who Tamin Sursok is. I have listened to her album like once probably, and it I don't know if it appears on my last FM or not, but I do
It
remember listening.
appears the album, but this song is specifically not.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
well, and I believe I listened to it like years ago, so
Yeah.
I only remember like Whatever Will Be because of the cover from Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes.
But this one I really liked, and I thought, oh, I have to listen to her album again because
Yeah.
it's one that I totally left outside, and not because it's rock, it's because I don't know, like I had other interests back then, but it's definitely a song worth listening to. It's Lucas type, of course, but it's really well produced. I like the sound, I like the lyrics, and yeah, it made me want to listen to the whole album once again. So thank you,
Yeah.
Luquitas, for reminding me of Tamin Sursak.
Yeah, my job here is done.
Yes.
What about you, Mo?
Well, friend, now that you mentioned Mandy Moore and the comparison, I want to be fair with her too, because my first listening was like, oh, I'm not enjoying this song so
Okay.
much because of the voice of her. Her voice was annoying for me, to be honest. But the production of the song was good. You know, like I don't know
Mhm.
if she was trying to sound like more like younger because maybe she was not so young in that moment. Like, of course, not all, but she was not a teenager, and maybe I don't know if the label wanted for her to sound like that, but or is her real voice, I don't know. But for me the voice was annoying at first, but right now I understand the comparison that you made because I was thinking about Saturate Me by Mandy Moore, and I perceive the same. Maybe the voice is a little childish, but the song is good and the production
Yeah.
is good. So actually, this is something that I put here. Like the track is good, the production is good. I don't like her voice.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but to be honest, maybe it was part of all of the work. all
Yeah,
of the CD. Yeah.
I think was more about the song. Maybe the person who sang the demo had a different voice. I don't know because I feel that her voice is like very in the song, like
Mm-hmm.
almost crying in some
Yes.
parts, and
Yes.
in other songs, of course, she had a young voice, but it's not so much like that. Like in the single, for example, "It's a Beautiful Thing." Her voice is more alive. It's more like the
Okay.
girls were doing, like even when they had the small voices like Hilary Duff, but the more explosion. So maybe try the other songs and make the comparison. It's gonna be fun too.
Okay. Okay.
Lucas,
It's fair. Yes, I'm
I
gonna
think
try.
you, I think you know Rachel Ferris.
Yes, that is
She,
like a little voice also.
that
Yes,
type of voice that you're like, okay, enough. So,
yes, yes,
yeah, like Mel said, a little childish.
Yeah,
yes.
maybe because I grew up listening to Hilary Duff. That's the reason I love her so much. But
Hmm.
maybe if I didn't know about her and now I listen for the very first time Come Clean, maybe I'm not going to enjoy it so much. I love that song because it was part of a special moment in my life, but maybe it was not like that if I listen right now for the very
Uh,
first time.
I
Hmm.
think that would happen with me with the beat of my heart. For me, would be annoying
Yeah,
probably,
I
and I
know.
used to love that song a lot.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Mao, your
We
next
have
song.
comments first.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think.
yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Adrian says this one reminded me a little of Michelle Branch.
Okay,
Okay. Very lucky. Yes. The timing song reminded me of RBD,
it
Rowan.
could be. Yes.
I
Mhm.
want to listen to her album. I think I listened once, but I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
same
friend.
here.
You're gonna
Yeah.
like friend. It's very 2000s.
Yes. Okay. Mousy Mumu.
Okay, man. My next song is a very underrated girl that actually was a suggestion for my friend Luquitas, and
Mhm.
but with other song. And this time I selected the one that was the single for the song for the album. That is actually the name of the album that is called Pretender, and the singer is Isa, or at least at that moment she was performing under that name, and then right now I think she is like Jessica Pilnas or something like that. That is, I think,
Mhm.
her real name. But in that moment, she was performing under the name of Isa. This song is very bubblegum, very teen pop bubblegum. I was very surprised because, of course, it was a suggestion by Lucas. I knew about her because of that. But I was so surprised that Mariel didn't have any scribblings by her. So, because it's very what you like me, Mariel, like very bubblegum, very this kind of music. And actually, it's like she reminds me so much of Jennifer Page in a way. And in the
Mhm.
other hand, it's like Joss Stone making bubblegum pop because the voice of her is very soulful for me.
Mhm.
Like is like a little bit strong, like raspy, like very this kind of voice for soul music for a white girl.
Mhm.
So yes, I want to know. Well, starting with Lucas to know your opinion, then me Mario, because Lucas already knew.
Okay.
Yeah, this girl was actually an amazing surprise for me in 2023, because the her demo for a song that Ruge, the girl band, Brazilian girl band, recorded, leaked in 2023. She recorded a song called Demon that Ruge recorded as Fantasma here in Brazil, and her version only leaked in 2023. So I was listening because I knew the Brazilian version, of course, and I was like, "Who is this girl?" And then I found her album. It was such a surprise because I think at the moment I just discovered Camila Brink, so I was thinking like that there's like a thousands, millions of girls like this, and this will never end. But sometimes we find girls like that, and it's not that good in production or voice. It's just someone trying to make that pop song that we love so much. But in this case, it's not someone trying, she's really doing. So that's why I was really surprised, because the song is good, the album is really good, the cover is beautiful also. So
The
what was an
production of the
amazing,
video.
yes, was an amazing surprise. That's why I shared with Mal, I think in the same moment that I found we were talking or something, and I shared with him. And of course, I do like the song. I do like her, and I think it's one of those cases that makes me want to dig in always online
More.
to try to find more and more and more, because there's always more, you know.
There's always more. Yes, the song that you shared with me was actually "Still a Little Kiss." That is also very good.
Yes.
Now I want to know your opinion, Mariel.
Okay, I have a playlist on Spotify called Albums I Need to Listen to, and that album was part of it, but I haven't got to that part yet because sometimes I don't have the time to listen to everything. I wish I could have time to listen to music all day. Sometimes I can't, but that album was is part of that playlist. So now that I listen to it, it's like, oh, I was missing something here because it's really, really good. It's really my type of music. So very poppy, like you just mentioned, my type. So I'm really gonna listen to the rest of her music. I found it catchy. I found it like I can play it over and over and not getting tired of it. So definitely gonna listen to. And thank you for reminding me that that album is a must-heard for my list.
Yes,
Yes.
mi Mariel. Yes, it's everything what you love. You know, it's bubblegum, it's teen pop, this kind of 2001 production. It's
Yes,
very
Totally.
you. So yes,
And it's
I,
very
I I was
real.
sure that you were gonna love it.
yes, I
Yeah.
loved it. So thank you. Um, Adrian says, I like this song a lot. Good choice, Mousy Mumu. Uh, Ruan, I like the song Pretend. It's a very R&B pop that I love. Super catchy. Yes, it's super catchy. Definitely, Ruan. Hmm. Okay. Following with my second selection. Another girl. This one is from the UK. Uh, Luciana Caporoso. Luciana is known for working with lots of rappers and hip hop singers, in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, I'm sorry. But not a lot of people know that she began singing real adult contemporary music like Jennifer Page, like Donna Lewis, a lot of these singers that we like in the 90s. She began working just as Luciana, and she also worked with another girl in a duo called Venus. So a lot of people don't know this, but and are like, oh yeah, Luciana, the one who sings with Tayo Cruz, and like that. But not a lot are familiar with her album One More River that I chose this time for you as uncle if you're gonna love somebody. One of my favorite songs from the 90s. It's very me. It's very this type of adult contemporary, like I was telling you, Jennifer Page, uh, Jennifer Brown, Jordan Hill, this type of more mature voices. So I want to know, starting with Luki, what did you think? Because I know you listened to the album. I checked your last FM, but it was a scrubble from 2018, I think. So it was
Yes.
a long time ago. And I want to know your thoughts on this song.
Yeah. I gave a try to her album once, so I was also curious to listen again to this song,
Mm-hmm.
and I, I just realized now that this album is from 1994, so makes a lot of sense that I don't like much the song, because for me, you are totally right. It reminds me Jennifer Page, but specifically Crush. That is a song that I'm not super into. Uh, so I don't know. For me, it didn't work. It was kind of boring, to be honest. But I like the cover of her album. For example, looks very pop, but when you listen, it's more chill, but it's also like something very specific from that era in music. Like pop music was not what we love it later yet, was about
Mhm.
to become. So it was a little bit different the first part of the 90s, and for some reason never click with my mind. Is
Mhm.
something that therapy can discuss, because it's probably because I loved so much being a kid, uh,
Mhm.
with the pop music that we love. But this was a no for me. Sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. No worry. What about you, Mo?
I don't know if I'm in a different moment of time listening to different kind of music, because I really enjoyed it. you know, like it
Yeah.
was. I remember that it was a recommendation by you, me Mariel, once, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe because I had one scribbling by her, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, maybe it was a recommendation by Mariel.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I revisited this song, and now that I was listening to the song again, I was like, oh, this is good. Like the production is different. I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting maybe something more bubblegum, like in your vein, but I discovered that it was not. Like it was more. The artist that you mentioned, actually, I was thinking about the name of this girl, and it's Jordan Hill. It was like
Mhm.
very similar.
I
And
love her.
actually, I put in my notes here like the voice and style remind me so much also to Chilean singer Nicole. If
Mm.
Joaquin is around, let me know if you think the same, because for me it was like, oh, it's like Nicole singing in English.
Oh,
And the talking about the song was also for me very Spanish. Like the guitars. It was
mm-hmm.
similar
Mhm.
even to La Isla Bonita by Madonna. So I was like receiving a lot of things, like going on. It was
Mm-hmm.
not
References. You are rich,
like,
friend.
sorry.
You are reaching references right now. That's beautiful.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Yes, because the song was giving me this kind of things, like it's giving me Madonna, like La Bonita, is giving me Nicole, it's giving me a lot
Mhm.
of things. So I was thinking, like, and the girl is stunning. She is stunning. So this
Yeah.
is this kind of cases that we talk about all the time here. Like, oh, she could have been huge and famous and extremely known by the world and everything, but something happened. But yeah, I really like it. And now that you mentioned this, friend, this is like sometimes my way to connect something that I don't know, or maybe I don't like at first, like to find reference that I know to try to connect. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was the reason. So yes,
Oh,
it
Yeah.
good.
was a good.
I'm glad that you liked it, Mo. I don't know why I thought you would and Lucas wouldn't. So I had that vision. So anyway, and she's very known as a songwriter, most more than a singer, because
Yeah,
Oh,
she writes for lots of singers.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
I
she's
think.
very good.
Go ahead, please.
Sorry,
What, Mo?
no, I think that maybe it was because it reminds Lucas about Jennifer Page crush. I think that's the reason.
Yeah, I think so too. But also, I have a problem with the first part of the night. I don't know what
We
happens.
know. We
Yeah,
know.
but I think we should make in the future episode bringing back some songs that we hated to see how it feels in that moment in the future. Because
Yeah,
maybe in the future it can make sense. I don't know.
it would be a very good idea. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
because right now that you mentioned this, when I was a kid, I didn't enjoy so much Sade's music. For example,
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. In the case of Madonna, for example,
That's
or Janet Jackson, the first albums from the 80s, and now are one of my favorites. So
yeah.
yes, it
You
I was
it,
like
mature.
it
that with
changes.
Mariah too. Yeah, Mariah
Yeah.
when I was a kid was not my thing,
Yeah,
and
me
now I
neither.
love. Yes.
It happens because your ear and your perspective and everything changes with time, within
Yes,
time. So
Yeah,
at
yeah.
first you obviously love childish things, and you feel like, oh, this is great, like Shusha and Tatiana and this. But now that you're grown, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that songs are for kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, your ear tends to grow too. Adrienne says
Absolutely.
that her voice reminds me of Maya. Really? Huh.
My,
Uh,
the R&B singer.
Yeah.
I guess. Uh,
Okay.
and Rowan, this song is very 90s pop classic. I loved it. She has a nice voice. She does, Rowan, and you should check out the entire album is really good. Okay, Lucas, your last choice, darling.
Oh, okay. My last choice is a song that I discovered very recently. That is "You Satisfy" by Melissa Green. I'm reading the name because it's very fresh in my mind. So I just discovered her through Adrian. Actually, he was showing me his new CDs in his collection, and I saw the cover of Melissa, and I was curious because she reminded me a little bit of Delta Goodrin in the cover of the album.
Mm-hmm.
The type of picture, I don't know, was kind of Delta for me. So I was, who's this girl? And he was like, I don't think you're gonna like her. I don't think it's your thing, but I love the whole album. So I'm glad I trust my instincts and gave a try to that album. She was actually part of the group Avalon, the Christian group.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is as far as I know, this is the only solo work that she had. I don't think she released a single or anything. So I could choose any song of this album, to be honest, because I really like the whole thing. But I choose this one, "You Satisfied," because of the reference that we were talking about. Because I think this song reminds me a little bit of so many things. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
sample or something in the arrangement that clearly sound like "Umbrella" by Rihanna. You
Mm-hmm.
can sing here any time of the song, and it will fit perfectly. Something about her reminds me Tori Kelly, especially in the first albums of Tori, uh, like a production with a full band, sounds kind of like live music in a way. And also the vibe of the song reminds me a little bit of "Beautiful Awakening" by Stacy or Rico.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like could fit in that album. And I don't know, that it was like really a surprise for me, and I like this album. And I was dying for you guys to listen to her, because I was thinking, am I crazy or this is good? So now you guys gotta tell me. I want to start with Mao on this one.
Wow, a lot of things to say, friend. First of all, I want to say that sometimes it's unfair with the CCM artist because all the time for me it's like a comparison, like, okay, what are they trying to do with this person? It's they are trying to be like the next who, like the next Britney, Christina, whatever, like, oh, okay, Lauren Daigle is Adele. The other, Stacey Rico was the Britney and Rachel was the Christina. And,
Mm-hmm.
so I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes it's unfair. And all the time my brain is working like that. Like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
they were trying to create the Christian version of who with this person. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was listening to Melissa Green, I was thinking the same. Like, okay, she was the Christian version of Rihanna or the Christian version of another person, or because of Stacey Rico was not part of the CCM world anymore, they were trying to create a new Stacey Rico. So yeah, for me was like, okay, who is this girl? Is the version of who? But I have to be fair too with her, and to admit that the song is really good, the production is really good, and sometimes in CCM music is like, okay, or you can find a very good production, or you can find like a not so good production. So in this case, was the production was so good. The voice of the girl is amazing, is really amazing. Actually, she was like for me the most beautiful voice of Avalon. You know, when she was part of Avalon. So yeah, you are right. The song is good. The production is good. Of course, is very influenced by Umbrella. So in that moment, I was thinking, okay, she was like the Rihanna, the CCM Rihanna. So yes, yes. For me, was like that, but it was so good. Actually, it was a surprise for me because I didn't know the song. So yeah, yeah. I knew of course who she is because she was part of Avalon, but yeah, it was a surprise because it was CCM and it was like okay, okay, it was good. It
Yeah.
was really good.
Actually, listening to the whole album, I think that this was one case that they weren't trying to make her be anybody else. So maybe that's why it didn't work so well, or didn't have a lot of support in her solo career, because you can have a little bit of everything if you listen to the whole album. There's a little bit of
Yes,
pop rock, a little bit of more sweet songs, more ballad. I think she decided to make, okay, I'm gonna make my album and that's it. You know, I can feel that vibe in this album. So it's very good. What about you, Mariel?
Well, I didn't know who she was. At first, I thought it was a choice by Mao, because like I told you, I didn't read very well who chose what. So at first, like,
Mhm.
oh, this is Mao, but then I checked and it was like, this is Luquitas. So it called my attention because I know you like CCM, but you're not so much into it. But I liked it. It's a good discovery. I know Avalon because I like some of their songs, but I didn't know this girl went solo. So like Mao said, they are always trying to find a match
Yeah.
for all, like the Christian Britney, the Christian this, and she's definitely, yes, like a Christian Rihanna slash Christina Milian, something like that. Um, I need to listen to it again because it didn't catch my attention so much, but it's not that bad. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I found, I think that a lot of CCM artists, there's a lot of CCM artists out there,
Oh,
and
a lot.
it's just like in pop music, they come and come and come, and you never stop, like finding new singers, because there's a huge wave of singers coming, and or that were part of it. So I need to listen to her more because I'm more into other Christian singers.
Yeah.
But I like the song. It's, let's just say it was okay for me. Not my favorite, but it was okay.
Yeah. Listen to the album whenever you can. It's a good album, and it's the only thing that she ever records. So if you listen to this album, you heard the whole discography by this girl. So it's
Okay.
it's
fast.
easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, Ruan says the Melissa Green song reminded me of Umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes, very upbeat. I liked it. Adrian says Melissa has an amazing, powerful voice. Jana from Avalon has also a stupid, powerful voice, like insane, powerful, and beautiful.
She released anything solo, Adrian? Tell
Yes,
us.
she
I would love.
released. I know that she released a solo album.
Mm,
Okay, I gotta listen
Yes,
to
I
this.
don't like her so much because she was one of the person that judged Michael Parsons so much when he was
Mm,
part of the group
okay.
because of he was gay. So yes, I don't like her because of that because I don't think she is a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong, Adrian. It was Jana, right? Or it was Melissa? I think it was Jana. Let me know in the comments.
okay,
Okay.
he says she does have a solo album, and he thinks it's called Jana, like a self-titled.
Yes,
I
Okay.
don't know.
I like the album of the guy also. Uh, Jody.
Mm,
Jody McBrayer. Yes.
Yeah, it's like Stacey Rico's genuine male version.
uh,
Yeah.
okay, gotta
It's
check it.
good. The 2002 album by him. I really like that.
uh,
Yes,
okay.
actually, there is a song that is called that is with Jaden Maria. That is
Yeah.
called
Yes.
yes. That is like that is the Christian version of "Nobody Wants to Be Lonely" by Ricky Martin and Christina
Oh,
Aguilera.
Yeah.
that's
It's
funny.
a good album. I love that album. Yes.
He says you are right now, that she is the one that you are
Mm.
saying. Okay.
So maybe I'm gonna give a try just to hate her. Let's see.
Okay. Mal, your next choice, darling.
Okay, to finish, it's like Lucas says about the bubblegum girls, like this kind of pop girls, because Britney was the first, and then after Britney, a lot of girls like that, like came after, like,
Yeah.
and we love a lot of them, like Ashley Ballard, Brooke Allison, Tonja, and whatever, them. And talking about the R&B girl groups was the same. Like, it's like I always make this analogy, and I think it works for the R&B girl groups and for the girls from the pop, from the bubblegum. It's like when you put your clothes in the washing machine, and then
Mhm.
you take them out, and it's like the trousers and the t-shirts and a lot of socks. You know?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For me, it's like this analogy. You have like the big ones, and then you have a lot of socks and socks and socks, and you take them out and a lot of socks. So it's like that. Like Destiny Child, TLC are the big ones, and then you have a lot of different groups like that.
Yeah.
So in this case, I decided to select this girl group that is called Fate, Fate, and I can't remember right now the meaning of because it's like a sigla.
Okay.
But this is another intention to be an R&B girl group. I think the song is really good. I think it's catchy. I think it's not different to anything. Actually, for me, they are very similar to SWV. Even the song has a sample that was used by SWV2, so it's like really similar, very similar. So, but the song is good. It's very my type of song. It's really R&B. This kind of vibe, like girl group singing. The voices are good, very soulful. So I
Mhm.
want to know. The song is called Just Because. I want to know your opinions. I know that it's not something new and different, and you're maybe not gonna love it so much, but I think it's good, and I think it's like a very good opportunity to give a try to this girl group that was not known at all, because I know you didn't have any problems by them. And as I told you in my analogy, there are a lot of groups very similar. Actually, I don't know if we shared this before, friend, but I remember this time with my friend Lucas in Sao Paulo. It was really, really funny because I was listening to a playlist that I have that is called like rare R&B or something like that. And I
Yes.
included a lot of girl groups that were not known at all. And suddenly, in that visit to this CD store, we found a CD of these girl groups. But it was like crazy because this girl group was not known at all, like in any
Yes.
part of the world. And I think it's called Seduce or something like that.
Yeah.
It was
That
crazy.
that store is crazy in our lives.
That story is crazy. So I want to know your opinions, friends. Mariel.
I didn't know who they were, Mimo, and I liked it. I gotta say I liked it because I'm a sucker for girl groups. So even if it's pop or R&B, I love it. So it kind of gave me a vibe of TLC's first albums
Yes.
and also a little bit of SWV
Yes.
and other unknown or rare, mostly rare. I'm sorry, groups like First Class or the other one. How can
ISIS.
I? ISIS. Yes,
ISIS.
yes. One of those groups that I want to hear more about because I like this underrated vibe. So I knew it was yours when I first listened to it. It was like, yes, this is my vibe. So I liked it, and I'm gonna give it a try to the rest of their songs because I think it's good, and it's the kind of I'm sorry. Ugh, I'm sorry.
Don't
Like I
worry.
told you, I'm a little sick. Um, like the type of R&B that I like, that is a little cheesy for me. So thank you. It was a good recommendation.
Oh, that's good, me, Mariel. I think my purpose was accomplished because I was thinking about you because it was a girl group. So I was thinking, okay, I hope she likes it. So, what
I
about
did.
you, my friend?
I really like it. Yes, I wanna listen to the whole album tomorrow. I think you chose this song in a perfect moment because I was listening to some girls that were kind of similar, like JS, the duo of the ice cream thing, and Nora, that is another girl from the 90s, and that is very R&B. And then I was listening to this song and I was like, this is really really good. It's the type of music that makes me want to listen to the whole album, you know. So I saved the album to listen during this week because it sounded really great. Of course, reminds me of TLC, the other girls, Black, uh, as if
SWB?
Black,
no,
yes.
Black. All
Ah,
this
Black.
type of music, of course. So that's why I like it. It's kind of generic, and sometimes generic for me works so well. You
Yeah.
know, I don't mind. So it was a good choice, and I was surprised that I never heard about those girls
Me neither.
before in my life.
Oh,
So it
I'm
was a
so
go.
happy. I'm
Yeah.
so happy. I am
Yeah,
so happy for that because it was like a real new discovery for you.
you was.
So it was because of me. So I'm so happy for that. And now I was not expecting you like it so much, friend, because of course it was like a sure move for Mariel because it was a girl group R&B and it's even pop like in a way like R&B pop, but for you I was not expecting that reaction, so I'm so happy for that.
Yeah, I really like it. And
Yeah.
you gotta listen to the song I share with you by JS. You're gonna like.
Okay, for sure.
Okay. Okay, it's my turn for my last. I'm gonna leave the best for last. This is a song by Swedish pop group Bodies Without Organs, also known as BWO. I had the opportunity to talk to Martin Rolinski this morning, the lead singer from this group. I had to tell him that their song "Sunshine in the Rain," which is the one that I we are going to talk about today, it's one of the best pop songs ever produced in the 21st century. And I mean that. I didn't say him that just because he was there on my show,
Mhm.
because I really mean it. And Sunshine in the Rain is one of those songs that you can't avoid listening to. I mean, it's beautiful. It's the lyrics are all about a long distance relationship, but the music is wonderful. It's so electro pop, produced and co-written by the master Alexander Bard, who was also part of Bodies Without Organs. Um, it's a song that always puts me in a good mood. It's a little nostalgic at the same time, but I think it's one of those songs that you cannot leave behind. So I want to start with you, Mao, because I know Lucas knows who Bodies Without Organs are, but I want to know your opinion first, Mao.
For my surprise, Mariel, I already knew about this song
Oh,
because
really?
when I was listening to the song, I was like, okay, I already knew this song, but I never knew who sang it, who sings it. So it was like okay. And as Lucas said, for talking about Faith, the R&B group, for me this song came in a perfect moment because this week I was listening so much to Mother Talking. So in this,
No, it's
even
very similar.
when yes, even when it's not maybe the exact genre in music like the same, it was similar because this
Yeah.
kind of euro vibe, euro dance. So I was like, okay, this song has the same vibe. So that's why I told you that I really enjoyed the three songs that you selected for the episode because the song for me was amazing, amazing
Oh,
the vibe, amazing the music, the melody. and actually is the perfect song that I use for running. You know, like it put me in
Mm,
that vibe. I
mhm.
was when I was listening to the song, I was thinking like, okay, I want to run with this song.
Yay! Oh, you gotta listen to the rest of their discography. They have a lot of songs that you're gonna find good for jogging and doing exercise. So working
Oh,
out.
that's good.
So
I have
I'm
to
really
check it.
glad. I'm really glad you liked it, and you guys gotta check the interview I have with Martin, because he talks a lot about this music and how important it is to stay unique, and that's
Okay,
why
okay.
BWO lasted for a lot of years because they were unique and they made such great music. And now, Luquitas,
I I don't know. Um, I know about them. I didn't listen to the song before, so I was expecting to really like, because to be honest, I think this group is something that when I look to the videos and I look to the covers, is something that would make sense for me to like, but for some reason I never found a song that made me crazy about them. I watched some music videos, and for me it was kind of over the top, and I understand why. It's because you were saying they were so unique, and I totally agree on
mm-hmm.
that. But for me, when I was watching some videos in the past, look at like, I don't want to be mean, but I'm gonna be okay. Sorry, it's the only
No,
way
it's
I
okay.
can
It's
express
okay.
about it. Looks like someone in college that wants to be super special, and believe so much that is so special, and maybe not everyone understands how special they are. Maybe I do understand, because when I watch, for me, it's like, I don't know, looks like they are trying so hard to be unique, and it's not spontaneous, but maybe it's just me not getting they work. So the song is not bad, but I gotta listen more to see if it grows on me, because I don't think that is that catchy sometimes. Sorry, I
No,
try
it's
to
okay.
be
It's
nice.
okay. As Martin was telling me, he and the rest of the group, both Alexander and Marina, knew that they were just a group with a look, and that's what they were showing to the world. But
Hmm.
outside the stage and outside the videos and stuff, they were normal people just like us.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
they wanted to portray themselves as very different and very original with their outfits and with the type of videos they used to do. So yeah, I recommend you to listen to their first album,
Hmm.
Prototype. It is their best in my opinion.
Okay.
So maybe you can start over there. But
Yeah, it's
I mean,
because I want to like.
yeah,
When you want to
yeah,
like
it
something.
takes time. It takes time because
Yeah.
Alexander Barth, who is part of this group, began on Army of Lovers in Sweden, which is a group more extravagant than Bodies Without Organs. And at first I saw them and I was like, I don't know, but now I'm like, okay, I like them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the thing of giving it a try and then see if you're really into it or not into it. But
I
you
agree.
have to you
Yes.
have to listen to it. And
Yes.
but
Yes.
anyway, oh, I'm sorry about Mouse last song. Adrian says that it's a totally Mouse song and I love it. And Roan says that I like the song, such a good vibe. Yes. And about Sunshine in the Rain, I like your last choice, Mariel. Adrian, yes. I knew you were gonna like it, Adri. And Juan, I lost the interview. YouTube didn't notify me, but I'll check it later. Don't know any song, and that's my chance to dive into their music. Yes, obviously. You're gonna like it. And they are, well, Martin told me that they are working on something for this year, so probably a comeback. Yeah, baby.
Mm.
Wow,
So
exciting.
um yes. Okay, so this was it about the three songs each of us chose, and now it's time for us to jump into one of our sessions called the Obsession of the Week. So, starting with Mousy Mumu, which one is your current obsession?
Okay, in this moment, I want to talk about a very talented Colombian girl again, and her name is Greeicy.
Okay.
She was like the competition. I don't want to sound like I made this kind of competitions all the time, but she was like the other side of Carol G when Carol G was like releasing her career, because she was like the other reggaeton girl here in Colombia. But I think for her she's not so much reggaeton. Well, she's a reggaeton singer, but I think she mixes very well the reggaeton with the pop music. Like this thing that we call here pop reggaeton. It's like pop reggaeton. So my obsession is a song that she released, I think, 3 months ago or something. That is called A Veces, A Besos, and actually, I'm thinking about an episode talking about that. And the song is magnificent. I'm obsessed with the song. The Greeicy is stunning. She's really beautiful. The video is really pop, because she's dancing, like the choreography, but at the same time, it's reggaeton. The lyrics are good, are very sassy, are very are sexual, but not so explicit. So it's good. It's good. The song is good.
Okay. You should add in our playlist of the episode so everyone can listen.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Please. What about you, Luquitas? What's your obsession?
My obsession right now is like an old song by Christina Aguilera, because I just saw her twice last week. So
Yay!
Is it possible not to be obsessed with her? I'm like having depression post Christina. I wish I could go back to that moment because it was so special. And in this concert, she sang a Bionic song called Vanity, that back then, when she released that album, for me was terrible. I just hate that song. But with time, things change. For me, sounded so weird, that song. And maybe when people were saying that Bionic was so ahead of time, they were right, because listening right now to Vanity sounds very normal. It's not different at all to my ears. It's kind of Charlie XCX. I don't know. It's a fun song where she's talking about loving herself, like thanking her mom and daddy for being so hot. I turn myself on, things like this, and being unapologetic about loving herself. And in the concert, especially, make a lot of sense because it's really fun to perform. And it's a song where she uses her voice in a different way, like more sassy and not so much about the vocals and the screaming and everything. So suddenly I was obsessed with that song. So I had like one day between the two concerts, like, and in that day that there was no concert, I was obsessed with that song. So at the Saturday, I knew all the lyrics because I was really into that song. So Vanity by Christina Aguilera is my obsession right now.
Great. Okay. Gotta check it out again because I don't like that album. I only like the song Glam. So I need to go back again to it.
Yes.
Rowan says that his current obsession is Abracadabra by Lady Gaga.
Really good.
A new release.
Yes, new release. My current obsession is by Swedish pop singer Agnes, and this time is from her last album, Magic Still Exists. The song is called Fingers Crossed. I adore that song and I play it all the time, and it's so catchy, so danceable. It's so Agnes, so you can't miss it. Really good and really cool. I was gonna say Acereje by Las Ketchup because my daughter plays that song all day, but it's not my current obsession, it's hers. So but I play she plays it all the time, and all the time I'm like, because it's so sticky. So yeah, I know. But no, Agnes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
That is crazy because it was part of our childhood, and now it's part of her childhood.
Yeah, and she's crazy about it, and she does it like
Yeah.
Adrian, me too, Ruru. I loved Abracadabra and still very into Padam by Kylie and the soundtrack to Mi Secreto, this awesome Mexican novela I just watched. Okay, I don't remember that. But okay, good, Adri. Thank you for coming. And now it's time to talk about our latest additions to our collection. Um, Lucas.
Okay. Well, today I want to show something that is from my last trip to São Paulo with
Hmm.
Mauricio. That is this single by M2M. Is Don't Say You Love Me, but it's very different because it's like a agenda or
A
something.
notebook. Uh-huh.
Notebook, yes. So I was very surprised when we found this because I never saw it before. It's from US and it's very beautiful inside. Like there's a letter by Merit and Marion introducing themselves to the US market and some pictures and the CD, of course, that is here. Here. And the songs, only three: Don't Say You Love Me, Give a Little Love, and a Smiling Face. I rather when singles have different versions of the same song, but it's okay. I like this anyway because it's very different. And I just want to show this book that I'm reading right now. That it was my friend's gift. Thank you, Mao.
Oh,
Because I'm obsessed with this book. I'm carrying with me everywhere. So I'm reading so we can talk about it in the future because JoJo is another obsession right now for me.
great, great additions. Uh, Talking about additions, I have here, and now taking in count that our friend Adri is here. He has sent me a lot of albums. I'm not going to show you all the things he sent me because otherwise we would take all night. But tonight I want to talk about how he sent me four Crystal Lewis's albums. I know Loquitas loves her, but okay, I'm going to talk about her first. I got her Hyms album from 95, and these three other albums that I got signed by the very own Crystal Lewis, thanks to uh, Adri, and it's Beautiful Ashes,
Wow.
um, Gold, and Fearless. So I love Crystal Lewis, and you guys know that. And thanks to Adri for this beautiful albums. I'm really thankful to you because you know how much I like Crystal, and that you took the time to ask her to sign these albums for me
Yeah.
and for Mao because I know Mao has them too. When you went to a meet and greet with her, I really, really appreciate it, and I love you so much, Adri. So thank you so much. And now it's time for Mousy Mumu.
Oh, I want to shout out to Adri because it's like an amazing friend that helped us a lot of with our collection. So thank you so much, Adri, because yes, he made the album signed by her for you, mi Mariel, and for me. And these
Yes.
albums, actually, I think this is my three favorite albums by her. Are amazing gold, beautiful ashes, and fearless are amazing albums. So thank you, Adri. And I want to say that I'm so glad because I was the one who found that CD that Lucas showed by M2M.
Yeah.
It was so special that
Mm-hmm.
moment because I
Mm-hmm.
found in a box and I was like, oh, look at this! It's very different. It's very beautiful. It is like a book, like an agenda. So yes, it was a beautiful moment.
Every
Right
time was
now,
a shock for me.
yes, yes, he was like, oh, I want to show this. It was a gift
Ooh.
from a seller that right now I can say is a friend of mine. We are follow each other in Instagram. He was so nice. I think I told about this story in the other episode. At first, the address that I gave you was wrong, then was right, and then when he reshipped the album that was the Tori Kelly's album, he gave me as a gift this beautiful, beautiful copy of
Lovely.
GLW album that is actually is sealed. I didn't
Wow.
open. It's really beautiful. I love this
Beautiful.
album, and right now that I'm more focused on the vinyl collection, it's like the perfect opportunity to have it. So thank you. His name is Matty. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much if you are watching. And this is beautiful. I love this album. I love the songs in the album, and I love to have it in vinyl.
Yay! Great additions. Rowan says it's been ages since I buy anything. Wish I have any cities thrift stores here where I live. Wish I was rich to buy y'all wish lists. Oh, Rowan, I wish I was rich too. Sometimes I'm like,
Oh,
I
me
want
too.
to buy this, and I only buy one. But yeah. Adri says, you're welcome, my friend. I love you. I love you too. And I love you, Mao, and love you too, Lucas.
Love you too,
Yeah.
friend.
Love you.
And he says that that's an amazing gift, Mimao, the 3LW vinyl.
It
So
is. It's beautiful. I
it's
love to
great.
see covers in vinyl. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
because I
with
want our bigs.
oh
Yeah.
great
yes,
definition. Yes. And Rowan, you have to say you have new additions in your collection because if I'm not mistaken, Adrian was your secret friend in our Christmas game we did, and he
yeah,
gave you not only one but three albums, right? So yeah, you have to you can say you have new additions. Sometimes it's
yes,
not that easy to add something because you don't have the time or you don't have the money and you're like, okay, I need to spend on this and then it's or I need to spend on that, and well, but when it's affordable then we can do it. Right?
yeah.
Okay, so thank you everybody for being here in another episode of Ready Set Pop. uh don't forget to subscribe, give us a big thumbs up, and leave your comments below. Mao, anything you want to add?
Thank you so much, friend. Always is a pleasure. Thank you for the community. Oh, actually, the playlist is already done because you have listened to it for the episode. So thank you so much, and please give us a big thumbs up in the not and put of please put also your comments in the box, like the comment section of the video, like when it's like in YouTube, not only here like in the video. It help us so much.
Yes, thank you. What about you, Luki?
I want. Sorry. I want to say thank you to you guys for being so open with the songs, like with the whole idea of listening and for being honest with your opinions. It's what I was expecting with this episode. And thank you for our friends for listening to before the episode and bring comments and your point of views with the song is very nice. Like I could talk about it all day long because I really love it. So it's a pleasure anyway to be here with you guys and talking about music all the time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.